Hello, viewer, and thank you very much for joining us on The People Show. Our guest today is Daniel Odongo. When he was born 25 years ago, his father wanted nothing to do with him. He actually abandoned the poor blind kid. But as years went by, Daniel held on to one thing. Daniel held on to a dream that seemed unachievable. But today, as we sit here with him, he wants to share with us his story. I don't know if you've ever heard about this, a blind pilot. Well, some of you may not want to go into that plane, but trust you me, Daniel can fly a plane. Daniel, thank you very much for coming to our studio.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Maybe just introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us, who is Daniel?
Yeah, I'm Daniel Odongo, who was born blind, and today I can see you. And furthermore, I fly planes at Wilson Airport. Wow.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, how is it that you were born blind and now you are able to see and actually fly a plane? Maybe if you don't mind, you'd share with us a little bit about your early childhood. I understand that your father also, kind of abandoned you and rejected you because of that. But then as years went by, you had to suffer all this. Maybe you can share with us a little bit about that.
Me, I was born back in 1992, 24th August, in Mumias sub-county, in Kakamega County. And we lived a very happy life because I was the last one in the family of 9. And my mother loved me so much. My dad loved me so much. Only both of them turned against me after 3 good years. It was in 1995. In 1995, when they were in the kitchen making or preparing a meal for dinner, my dad asked me to get him a spoon, which was placed on a stool, on a nearby stool. When I went looking for this spoon on the stool, instead I knocked the stool and then it fall down. When it fall down, I bent down, touching all over, tried to find out where this spoon was. Then Dad realized that I was blind. Then he said, "Hey, do you mean all this time I gave birth to a child who is blind and I've never known?" No. This disability does not come from our community. Maybe it comes from the side of the mother. Now he turned, he grew a little bit angry with my mother. Then said, no, he will not allow or accept this kind of disappointment. And he doesn't know how people in the community will perceive him to have given birth to a child who is blind. So he said, kindly leave. That's how we left that evening with my mother after packing the few luggage we could get hold of, back to Buchifi, to her mother, that is my grandmother's place. She received us very warmly. Sarah, that was my grandmother.
Yes.
She received us very warmly. But now, after the first day, second day, third day, she was asking, "You're not going back to your matrimonial home?" She said, "We have got a problem because of your grandson who is blind. I had issues with my husband, that is my father." Then said, "Okay, maybe you can leave this one behind, then you go back and also take good care of your other siblings." Then said, "Well, good. If you give me that permission," she left immediately. So I was left with my grandmother, who is very old, about at the age of 93, and I'm only 3 years. So people in the village will backbite her and say, "Now this woman, is she in her normal senses? How will you take a grandmother of 93 and you're leaving her with a child, 3-year-old, surely,
And who is blind?
Who can't even do anything? He's just there, ready to die, very useless fellow in the village." Then after talking, it came to a point where the grandmother had to accept the condition. She used to hold my hand to go to the church every now and then. She could help me how to go through reciting a rosary. She was a Catholic. And normally we could enjoy that warmth from her because I used to sleep with her. And I said, "Oh, I have somebody that I can enjoy that company."
Sure.
Now, having been there since 1995, 96, 97, 98, 99, she was growing old and very weak. And then all that period of time, my mother has never come to visit us. Even my dad has never come to visit us.
When she left, that's how she left.
That's how she left. She never came back home.
Oh.
And then the family, they were born 3 sisters.
Yes.
My the other 2 aunts. The 2 died. She was only remaining 1. Now, she couldn't even share with my father that she wanted to come back home just to come and look after my condition. We were there. She grew old, very weak and weak and weak because of age. Then sisters from a Catholic church came and then asked me, what are you doing for your grandmother's side? You're supposed to be in school. I told them, I'm not very sure what I'm doing, but I'm just here. Then the grandmother, with her stick, she came out saying that this is my grandson, he is blind, and he is the joy of my heart. I said, well, we never knew, but because you are at this age, I'm very sure you might be able to take good care of him. We can't request you that we take him to school, so that he can also learn like any other child.
Now these are the sisters from the Catholic
Church. She said, but you see what? He is the joy of my heart. If you snatch him,
take him away from me.
Then there's likely that I'll die very soon.
She'll be left alone.
Yes. And you see, even the kind of life that used to live there, feeding on cassava in the morning, maybe with porridge. Lunchtime, the same cassava and wild vegetables. In the evening, you're going to make ugali from the same cassava and maybe with, just any kind of wild vegetable that she could get around. Or somebody, a well-wisher who was just passing around, would just drop him this kind of wild vegetables. Then, 1999, that is, when sisters came, they picked me up. It was my first time to put on a white shirt. They took off the scarf, They put me on the neck, said, now this is your shirt. And they wrapped me also around my waist with a lasso. And I was taken to the Mumias Convent, St. Peter's. So reaching there, I find life to be a little bit challenging. Because one, I'm not used to this kind of new people, new faces, new voices. I'm more used to my grandmother. I'm no longer sleeping with my grandmother. They used to sleep with my grandmother. I'm not being told, go and sleep in that small room.
Alone.
So you are there alone. You're not very sure of what could happen next.
So you feel the sense of insecurity.
Yes. And then, in fact, I had even to cry that whole night for the purpose maybe somebody to come to my rescue.
How old are you then?
I was only 7. 7 years by the time I was joining the convent. So I was there for the first few months. Then I realized that I had also other little ones in the convent. Girls who were going to St. Anne's Mumias and boys who were Peter's. So in the morning I could get hold of one. We go with her to St. Anne's. Get it to the school, they say, this is a girls' school. What have you come to do here?
And you're a boy.
You don't have a school uniform. So I'm sorry, sister said that I should come and study here. They called sister, they say, this one cannot be able to learn here. They say, okay, let him come back. So I go back in the convent. The following day, I make an attempt to go to St. Peter's with other boys, small boys in the convent. Then they say, okay, we would love you to be here. But unfortunately, what I'm writing on the board, you can't even see. How do we help you now? Then I come back in the convent. I ask sister, you never told me this, that I don't see. That even when a teacher is writing on the board, I can't even do it. I can't even send, I can't even write in the classroom. So with that kind of a confused commotion and all these, I talked to a father who was in charge, Father Joseph Sisanya, and Sister Sophia Mutui, then left to Sister Ignatia Zuere. I told sister, I need to go to school. I could cry the whole day, the whole night. I could miss meals because I also wanted to be in school. So they made an attempt to go to both schools in Kisumu. For the first time, we went with them. Then we found out the school was full to capacity. The head teacher tried to persuade him. He said, I'm very sorry, the school is full to capacity. Then I said, well and good, now when can we come back? Maybe try second term. Now second time it was almost getting to the end without even any fruits along. But after 2 weeks to the closure of the term, the head teacher called sister and said, please can you bring that son of yours? But he is going to join standard 2 because in class 1 I have no vacancy. Baby class or preschool, I don't have vacancy. Then I told them, they asked me, are you ready to go to class 2? And please let us even go right now.
You've never
I don't know the meaning of class 2 and baby class.
You just want to be in that class.
In that class. So I get there, they introduced me to Brailles. I began writing letter alphabetical A up to Z.
All right.
1 up to 100, using now Brailles.
Yeah, using
so Brailles. I could touch, and because I knew how to count, how to recite rosary on those beats, at least it was like an easy way for me to touch and take these alphabetical letters, this, what and that, and all this. 1 week was over. They brought in exams. I did an exams, and I had 92% in mathematics.
That's brilliant.
The rest, I made an attempt, maybe getting 70 there, 60s and all these. Then finally, I became position 5 out of 9 in class 2.
And you've never been to any other class?
I've never been there.
Now maybe Daniel, fast forward. Your secondary education, where did it happen and when?
I went through Thika School for the Blind after scoring 351 marks out of 500 from Kimbo School for the Blind. Is when I joined Thika School for the Blind.
All right.
It was so smooth for me, enjoyable. But now, coming from the holiday, when we closed the school, I could reside in Mathare. A house that is made of iron sheets, both the wall and also the roof. It gets like as early as around 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It is cold, very cold. Freeze. Look at it and say, hey, what kind of life is this one? I'm not used to this. But I had to make my way out. By the time I was leaving Thika High School for the Blind in the year 2010, I had a B- of 50.
All right.
Then I got a chance to join Kenyatta University. I was given an admission letter. Look at the admission letter. Personally, I couldn't see with my eyes, but I could ask people to read for me. They say, okay, it is containing your details, your postal address. You're supposed to be joining by 7th of September 2011. Now, when I take the admission letter to the sisters, they look at it, they say, no, this admission letter don't look like genuine. It doesn't have a rubber stamp. It was not signed with a blue pen. Why are you taking advantage of us, Daniel? Does it mean that when you took you to Nairobi, you're now learning how to deceive us and then tell people that you qualify to go to the university? You believe that with a B- of 53, I could join the university. So I had to stay in Mathare for a whole year.
While you're staying in Mathare, how are you surviving there? How are you eating? How is your lifestyle?
I had a chance to do this kind of casual jobs. I used to prepare. I'm a cobbler by profession. And because I used to make people's shoes very well, I had a number of customers. So sometimes people could go step into fish, then they bring the shoes the way it is, like that. They say, so when you do it. But now we didn't mind because we knew that's where I get my daily bread, that's where I could get my rent, that's where I could get everything that I needed. So from there, whenever we don't have customers for shoes repair, we wash clothes. So we wash people's clothes. Then they give like 200 or 100 shillings, as at least can sustain for a while. And I remember very well, even those ladies who were there, they will give me a chance. They say, okay, we are going to give you water, to go to wash your clothes, or these people's clothes. They could wash and ask them, is it clean? Is it clean? They say, no, continue to scratch it from this end. What on the armpits? What about on this collar? What about collar, this? That's how we managed to survive.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, you entered university how?
In the university, I went back to the university at the Office of Registrar Academics after a whole year in 2012. I went and said, please, can you take back your fake admission date? They looked at me and said, are you serious? Are you a student? Are you a parent? I said, I'm a student, but because I am visually impaired, you people are taking advantage of me, giving me admission letter without a rubber stamp, without a signature that has not been signed in a blue pen.
All right.
They said, okay, let me confirm the admissions office. He calls the admissions office, bring the file for admission, they bring the file for admission, they look through the list, I'm the first on the list.
Wow.
They say, you're supposed to be in the university, you're supposed to now get to the second year. What are you doing?
What are you doing outside there?
I told them, when I took this letter to my donor, those are the sisters who used to support me, unfortunately they said, this is a fake admission letter.
Oh.
So they say, can you prepare by tomorrow, come to the university?
All right.
And I told him, I'm very sorry, I will not be able to go back, or I will not be able to come back tomorrow because of my condition at home. Kindly guide me to how I can get the VC.
Yes.
So say, okay, if that is the case, let me take you to the Vice Chancellor's office. We go to the Vice Chancellor's office. I tell her, Madam, I'm very sorry. This university is taking advantage of me because of my condition of visual disability. They gave me a fake admission letter. She laughs and says, and asks registered, do you confirm these allegations? Said, I've confirmed he is supposed to be in the university. He's already late by a whole 1 year. Then he asked me, now how can I help you? So you come and study.
That's Madam Mugenda now.
That's Professor Mugenda.
Yeah.
So they tell her, in fact, I can't even go back home because my house in Mathare. And you see, my house even doesn't have a window, doesn't have a door. Is there a place you have a
Just some
iron sheet somewhere? You remove some nails, just to make a space. You pull it, you put a stone there when you're leaving. When you come back in the evening, if you find this stone has been moved a little bit, then you know
someone was here.
Yeah, someone got in my house.
That's very interesting.
Now, then she said, okay, because I've understood your condition, I'm already late for a whole year. I don't want again to get late for another year. I'll give you a chance to be in the university. So she calls the transport manager, they get me the van, they take the guest house.
All right.
At the university, there I was able to get some nice meals, a good towel, I was able to go to bathroom, good toilet. Then the following day in the morning, as a courtesy, as a Christian, I went back to her and said, thank you very much, madam.
Sure.
Then she gave me a 1-year scholarship and also
amazing.
some pocket money to buy those small shopping.
Amazing.
That's when I found myself in Kenyatta University as a student, Longonot, and just to make it even more harder for me in the university, I'm going to a class with my white cane and a braille machine holding it in my hand. I'm going to a mathematics class. Professor comes and asks me, young man, are you lost? I tell him, no, I've come to study mathematics.
He's asking you that because he sees your condition?
Yes.
So he thinks
I will not
a
be able
visually
to
impaired
make
person cannot be able to
do
attend
mathematics
this class.
and geography. That was my two teaching subjects.
Yeah.
Then after some time, he allowed me to be in class, but sitting right next to him, sometimes I could write in my braille machine, making a lot of noise. They say, now, how would you bring this blind one here now?
He's saying that.
Those are students now. So I
Serious.
told them, I'm also having a right to be in this university.
Sure. It is your right.
Then after some time, they gave us a cut about e raised to power 5, where to apply some few rules to get the answer. The whole members of the classroom, about 1,600 plus people, are not able to get the answer. I made an attempt to carry up my hand, I could not be chosen. I decided to stand on my seat and carry up my braille machine with a white cane. Then he said, young man, you can make an attempt, but I don't think you'll go to get it right. So I told him, write this on the board, bring this E down, differentiate this one, product rule here, do this derivative of this one, then you're able to get a correct answer. He told me to sit down, then he asked all other students to stand up. They clapped for me like 10 good minutes.
A standing ovation.
Yes.
Wow, Benson, that's so touching. Hold that thought. I want us to take a short break, and then when we come back, I want us to look at how you were able to graduate university, and also after university. What step now did you make towards achieving your childhood dream of becoming a pilot? Viewer, if you're just joining us, you're watching The People Show. For any comments, suggestions, or opinion, you can send that to our email address, info@gbskenya.com. Info@gbskenya.com is the email, or you can send us an SMS on 21144. 21144 is the number. We take a short break. We'll be right back after this.
How many of you use your real names on Facebook? Wengine ni sweetie pretty.
You must succeed in being an eagle and not a chicken.
I'm seeing myself owning the biggest media house in Africa. Yes, I could employ you, in fact. Yes.
All right, now it is going to another direction. When you are born and when you grow up, now you do the work. You become a person who likes the country. You understand, right? I mean, not getting a job at Kenya Power, right?
And you know what? Who you are online is exactly who you are offline. And who you are offline is who you are online.
네, 여러 군데 가서 강연을 많이 해보는데
So I've been to many places to give lectures.
이러면
Whenever I say,
눈썹으로 인사를 대답을 해요.
they respond with their eyebrows.
There is a card that makes paying for almost everything easy like ABCs. No need to make trips to the ATMs to withdraw money or carry cash around. That's the Equity Bank Visa card, accepted everywhere you see the Visa sign. Use it to pay for food and drinks, fuel, shopping, pay for your Uber ride, shop online, travel and hotel bookings and so much more. Pay conveniently and free of charge. Card security is guaranteed thanks to the chip and PIN technology that protects your card from fraud. Start paying with your Equity Bank Visa card now and enjoy the convenience of not carrying cash.
It's time to start the new year right.
I'm just gonna go for it.
Make the right moves.
We gotta fight. I can't fight alone.
Find your Mr. or Mrs. Right.
I know I'm not no brat bitch.
Take them for a nice dinner at the right place.
That would absolutely shock you.
Hold nothing back to get the dish right.
I wanna beat you, Bobby.
What? Make sure you're in the right place for the best in TV. Right here on DSTV.
People have dominance over themselves. Why? Daddy, no money. Give me money. I'll buy for you. Hey, Daddy, I said I don't have money. Hey, I know, Daddy. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Or the leopard its spots?
예수님이 우리의 모든 죄값을 다 지불하시기 때문에 예수님 다 이루었다라고 말씀하셨잖아요.
So Jesus paid for all the wages of our sin. That's why he could say it is finished.
Yesu alipa mshahara wa dhambi ya deni zetu lote, ndiposa akasema kwamba imekwisha.
God is like the supercomputer.
Upendo wa Mungu ni kama hii supercomputer.
Everywhere, GBS.
Well, viewer, if you are just joining us, you're watching The People Show on your favorite channel, GBS TV. Today with us in studio, we have our guest, Daniel Odongo, a man who was born blind 25 years ago. And believe it or not, he now has his sight and is a trained pilot. He actually flies planes, if I may say that. In the first half, we were sharing with Daniel his early childhood and his life through primary school and secondary schools and even to university. Daniel, during the break, you gave me a very interesting explanation of this teacher who refused to give you a chance to answer a question in university. Maybe if you can just explain this a little bit, because I find it very interesting. Our viewers would want to know what this is all about.
So this Professor Malonza, he has given us in geometry, introduction to geometry, that is SMA 103. It gives a question like 5 raised to power, e raised to power 5, or exponential e5. When I looked at it, when I heard about, when he read it out, everybody was giving a wrong answer. But to my own understanding, I knew if I was to apply some few rules in mathematics, I was able to get that answer correctly. My attempt to carry up my hand, I was not chosen. I tried even standing on my seat, he never considered me. And I decided not to stand up on my seat and carry my brother up. Then he said, okay. Young man, you can make an attempt, but I don't think you'll get it right. They said, Mwalimu can go on the board. So this 5, e raised to power 5, you can bring that 5 down so that you can apply the product rule. It will be 5.e or 5e. Now if you're having 5e, you can also apply the differential rule. We are going to now replace this e with the letter a, with the letter y, or a letter x. Now you'll be having 5y or 5x. If you have this one, you have to differentiate now further. From 5y raised to power 1, you can differentiate to 5y raised to power 0. So you can now have y. And because of these two, now you can form a derivative of using this dy dx. We will say dy dx to be 5, then a multiple of y. There, you are going to apply the product rule, bring this x down so that you can cancel the other x, and then this dy is going to be 5. Then you replace it now back again to the letter e. Be having dy is equals to e. Then e is equals to y. Y, you bring it down here 5. You equate it with a log number, which is going to give you 0.05.
So you have your answer.
You have the answer.
Well, viewer, I also don't, actually I'm floating on that, but then I find it very interesting. Despite that a myriad of challenges that you faced also in university, just as you explained earlier, when did you graduate from Kenyatta University?
Yeah, I graduated in 2016. It was quite by chance.
All right.
Because I remember sometimes back in 2014, 2015, I was very sick with cerebral malaria.
Sorry.
Then I was taken to health unit at Kenyatta University. After checkups here and there, first aid treatment for like about a whole week in the sick bay. Then I was later transferred to Kikuyu Hospital.
All right.
At Kikuyu Hospital, I was there for a whole week. Then by the time I was leaving the hospital, that early in the morning, a lady came in front of me, poking fingers into my nose, which was very painful. So I could, try to get her from in front, then she runs away. I tried to hit her or to knock her, then she runs away.
Is it a lady you knew or just?
No, I never knew, but I could hear the smell of the scent. I knew this must be a lady.
Sure.
Then she did that for quite some time, like about 3 to 4 times or 5 times or so. Then I asked her, do you do this because I'm blind? Then after some time, he said, okay, I'm Meloth Jerry. I want to go for surgery, and I know you'll be able to get back to the site. I told her, please, Meloth, I don't need to see. I'm very much comfortable the way I am. I've left primary, high school, and then right now I'm at the university. You people want me to go for surgery. I failed to pay the fee for the hospital, for the surgery. Then you lock me up in this hospital.
Detain me here. Sure.
Then she said, no, kindly, Daniel, I to go to the for this surgery, and I know you'll be able to get back your sight. So after persisting for long, I decided to now please her by giving in. Dr. Mondia, Dr. Geoffrey, and also Japheth. They came along. They did the pre-surgery test that evening. Then they referred me in the morning to go for surgery. The surgery, the man who was in charge was Dr. Godfrey Nyaga. We performed the surgery since morning at around 7 in the morning up to around 6 late in the evening. By the time I was leaving the theater, they had performed only a surgery on one eye, that is the left eye. I could find the bandage like this. It was so painful because from the beginning they had to inject a needle through the eye down here, so that at least the eye can partially be dead. Then now removing the bandage, or that night, Then I had a lot of pain. You are crying the whole night. When you cry, they give you painkillers, paracetamol, and all this. Now, it is unfortunate that if you cry and then the tears now goes where the wound is, it now becomes even more painful.
So the painkillers don't even work.
They don't work. So to cry, but don't produce tears.
You just make a sound.
Yes. The following day in the morning, they remove the bandage. Then, I could see some few things, blurred things in reddish color.
Oh, so now you're starting
something
to get
moving in front of me or
sight.
passing across like reddish. But I couldn't share with any person because I never knew what I could be seeing. Because they can even ask me, okay, if you are seeing, what are you seeing?
What are you seeing?
And I've never seen in my
Like they told in the Bible, the man who saw people like trees.
Yes. I just kept silent. So I went back to the university to complete that semester. That was in 2014, September semester. It was around in October when I was taking my surgery. Then when I went to the university, I said I'd not be sitting on the front seat. I'd also be sitting among these people. So they could place that chair in front of the lecture theater. Then I could pass maybe this side or this side. Then they said, this gentleman is lying twice. He's seeing. He's not blind. Tell them now, guys, if I'm seeing, why am I using this bread machine? And you people are using a pen? For sure, he is blind.
Sure.
Then we completed in 2016. I had my degree, first class honors in mathematics and geography. But I was not very sure what I'm going to do outside.
What you're going to do after that,
Yes. So I went back to my small house, which doesn't have a window, even another door. So you make a small space within iron sheets. So you put like this, you get in, and then you close it again by tying a rope from inside, then you pull it. That's how it was.
That's how you close your door.
Yes. It gets early in the morning, at around 2, 3 in the morning. It is freezing, very cold. We are there, trembling, you don't know where to go, but now this is your home. You do not know your parents, even your brothers are not there. You don't have somebody that can say, I'll go and stay with them.
A relative that you would go stay
So
with.
I had to stay there for the rest of the time that I was in Kenyatta University during the long holidays and also after completing the university. So in my casual jobs of repairing shoes and also washing people clothes, I was able to save like about 6,000. With 6,000, I was able to board jumbo jet from Jomo Kenyatta to Mombasa, Moi International Airport. So I was asking myself, because I was a geography student at the university, so I could go for trips in Mombasa almost every now and then, every semester, especially for aerophotography with Dr. Damo Sebe. We could spend like a whole night or a whole day on the road. So I was asking myself, how comes that today I'm able to fly from Nairobi to Mombasa within 40 minutes or 43 minutes or so? Then I said, no, I need to know the logic behind this. So I remained seated. When everybody, passengers have left the aeroplane, then I remained seated. They asked me, the hostess, are you stranded? How can we help you? I told them, I'm very sorry, I would love to speak to the pilot. They said, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to book an appointment from their office, then from there you can have or schedule a meeting.
A meeting with them.
Then I told them, I'm very sorry, I don't have to book an appointment. And you people, I will not leave this place before seeing the pilot. Then they said, if you refuse, you're going to call the security. I told them, okay, you can go ahead, but I will not refuse. I will not leave this seat. So after arguing, I told them, okay, or unless if you're willing to carry me out of this seat, then you can go ahead. But you will not leave this seat because I paid for it.
What was the intention of wanting to see the pilot of the plane?
I wanted to know the logic behind why the aeroplane is so big, leaving Nairobi to Mombasa within a very short period of time, and then here we are. Then she came out, a lady.
A lady was flying the plane?
Yes. Captain Yvonne Mumia. She said, I've been flying the jumbo jet for quite some time. How can I help you? I was very frank and very open. I told her, Madam, I was born blind. I have not had sight for the last 24 good years. And I want to know the logic behind how we came very fast. One, I'm so grateful that we brought us here safely. And I want also to know how this airplane moves, and if possible, you can also train me. They said, that is very good. I've never had a passenger asking for such kind of a favor from me since when I began flying. Then she said, about training, I'm not able to train you from here, but I can ask you to come to Wilson. I'll take you to a flying school where you'll be trained, then you can fly planes. But I went good. She gave me her number, a business card. Then we also exchanged. She took my number, she said the number, because she said she doesn't pick new numbers. So I made sure that she said that number while I was there.
Yeah, while you're still with her, so that...
It was Friday like today. Then we met at Wilson Airport. She took me to Skylink Aviation College. Reaching there, I got a fee structure worth 5M for the first training.
A fee structure for the first training, million.
And I looked at it and I said, Madam, are you sure I can afford to do this? Because even when I was boarding Jumbo Jet last time, I had washed people's clothes, people's shoes for almost a whole year for me to save that much. How will I get this one? She asked me, do you want to become a pilot? Yes. You have to pay school fees. So I looked at this, okay, that's good. So I went back home in Madare. There are people that you normally sit on the bench, you know, when you have a funeral, people contribute money. There was also contribute some coins when I was in Kenyatta University. So I told them, kindly contribute for me money. I want to go for aviation course. Here it's a fee structure of 5 million. You said, please, Dad, you are now becoming stubborn. We have helped you, you graduate from the university. Why don't you use that degree to get the other course now? Also, with us you're also training. You also have other people that you need to support. So I told them, okay, I want to become a pilot. They said, I think because of your early condition of having that disability, it affects your brain. You must be having a mental problem.
So
can we get you to Madare?
Dismiss you as a mental case?
Yes. So I said, don't worry, I'll become one. So to make up my mind, I had to go back to Isili and teach as a tuition teacher during the day, and sometimes in the evening, come prepare these shoes, sell bananas, wash people's clothes. I only sent 20,000. I paid to the bank, I took it to the school. So the administrator looked at it, the accountant looked at it and said, hey, young man, out of 5 million, you are paying only 20,000. What is this now? I can't even give you a receipt. Fold it, throw it in the dustbin. Said, okay, you can go, but I'm going to give you only 2 good weeks. After that, if you can't raise, it's unfortunate. The first week is over. The second week is already on Wednesday. Then I approached the media house. When they knocked at the gate, told them, here, I'm blind, but I'm flying past at Wilson Airport. In fact, I was to be arrested by that watchman. You knocked me down, told me, look at you, you've become a con man in Nairobi. How do you tell us this? These are lies. Another watchman came and said, okay, I've heard you, and I want to help you. Then he introduced me to a lady who works in another media house. Then I was hosted. She asked me to come. I want to give you 3 minutes, so at least you can share your story within 3 minutes. If you don't sell yourself, it is upon you. I'm only going to give an airtime of 3 minutes. So tomorrow, which will be on Saturday, or on Thursday, come as early as 3 p.m. Because she begins her show at around 4 there. 3 up to 8 in the night. So I said, now I have a chance.
So you went and spoke about your story.
I went to the gate that as early as 12 from school. I was already seated there. Seated there because I was tired of just starting the flyover, watching the plane coming out, going up and coming down, going up and coming down. By 12, I could just sit there with those watchmen, take their water, we drink hot, cold water and all that, until it was around 3 p.m. Then she asked, why did you come this early? I said, if I had come maybe at 3 p.m., maybe I could be late. Then you could tell me, you could have said, maybe because you came late, you will not host me.
And you needed a chance.
Yes. So when I went there, I told them, okay, look here, me, I'm Daniel Odongo, I'm blind, but I'm trying to fly planes. I don't have school fees. Then I gave them my number, 0722-164-071. So everybody was calling, how can we assist you? How can we help you? As I found myself in the year 2017, from 6th of September up to 4th of December. That was my first time to be given a gold key. Told, okay, you have gone through the training, classwork. At least you are now ready to go now on the plane. there with the instructor. We were able to tax. We tax on the runway, communication, all this. This is Captain Daniel Odongo, security clearance from Wilson Airport. I'm heading to 1 hour training flights. Then they get you the frequencies 122.5, 122.1, 118.5. You key in those decimals and then you go again on the runway. Then you take off, you go up in the skies. So there you're being taught how to make a corner, how you roll. These are radars. If you step on this end, it's good to roll on this side. It's make a corner on this end or this end. This is the control tower. When you're putting it from on your side, the nozzle was going up. When you put towards inside, it was going down and all that. This is how you go to elevate in the skies. Wow. I was done. I had to master those concepts, and that's how it was. So from 4th December 2017 all the way up to March 2018. There I met the same captain who gave me a chance to go to the school, Captain Yvonne Mumia. Then I asked her kindly, can we fly with you? She said, okay, I've also been looking for you. I want to test your skills now if you understand this concept of flying. Sure. So when you're there, I asked her kindly, can I speak to your passengers? Can I to clear the air? Then he said, okay, I'll give you a chance, but don't preach here because we have Muslims here, we have Indians here, all kinds of conversation. Then preach. But I want these people to know God. So when you're taking off, I told them, okay, good morning, this is Captain Daniel Odongo with my colleague Yvonne Mumia. We're taking you from Wilson, we headed to Malindi. Then we gave the registration number of the aeroplane, 5 Yankee, Hotel Alpha November. They get me the frequencies 122.5, 122.1, and 118.5. Then we went. After taxiing on the runway, we pulled the control tower towards where we were. Then the nozzle was up. Then when up in the skies, I told them, "Oh, thank you very much for choosing Safari Link. I am the blind pilot, Daniel Odongo." And everyone was screaming in the airplane, "No! We can't be flown by a pilot who is blind." What is this? A blind pilot fly? So everybody was calling from Safari and saying, "No, how did you give us the blind pilot?" Then Captain asked me, "This is what you are telling people now. How will they perceive me?" I told them, "No, I just want these people to know God." So when you're looking behind, I could see everybody, some kneeling down, some praying and saying, "Oh God, just take us through this journey." Maybe it was by chance that he was able to see the runway when he was taking off. Now landing is the problem. So landing, I went, rolled myself very nicely, elevated myself the aeroplane, and then nose diving very smoothly. Then I landed on the red carpet, and every person was leaving. I never knew in the aeroplane there were also media people. That's why they came to cover my story. The following day, it was on a Friday on 2nd, on 3rd, which was on a Saturday, I found myself on a whole page of a blind pilot.
Cover this story. Now, I want us to speak about another phase of your life. I mean, I would say there's a stereotype when people hear about someone having a kind of a disability. Always there is that perception that this person is not able like other people to do the normal things that we do. And I'm really grateful. I mean, listening to your story and how you are able to overcome this, it's really interesting. But now, let me take you back now to your life, your individual life. You lost touch with your family, with your parents for a very long time. And just right before we started, you were telling me that you've gotten someone that you would like to spend the rest of your life with, who also posed a challenge to you. Maybe you can talk to us a little bit about, have you found time to meet with your parents after the separation?
To me, I was living a very normal life, especially I'm going through that kind of very hardship life from early childhood where I was till 2018. Now here I'm done with my degree. I'm also just about to finish with flying because right now I'm remaining logging hours, which I'm also paying each and every time I'm flying up in the sky. Then I said, okay, because I'm leaving now Mathare, I want to go to a better place and also live a better life to become a role model to another person. I happened to get a lady, Remy Viv Mumia. Met her in the church. And after I had a very good discussions with her, I went to visit them on 31st of 2018. Then I told her, by the way, we need to make a wedding. Then Dad was very sorry about it. He was not expecting that the person who was just hearing in the media as who was blind, rejected by the same person, by the same person, will come back to the same person and say, "I love you as my dad." Yes, that's how we were able to reconcile.
That's huge.
And that's how we were able to move together now with a lady that I want to spend the rest of my life with her. Though she's very strict. Just saying, tells you, okay, you have seen them, forgive them. You forgive them, talk to them every day. You talk to them every day, put for them a house, do for them, every time and then there are conditions.
He has conditions.
Though they're very positive. Huh?
Sure.
We look at them and say these are very positive conditions. She's a mature lady. She thinks more so about the parents who brought me up, even though we had issues. At least she has helped me to reconcile with my family. Though I'm still looking for my brothers and sisters, which I believe very soon with her, I'll be able to get where they are.
Having overcome all these challenges that you went through, Daniel, what would you say to people out there who have different forms of disabilities and then they look at themselves and think, I'm useless, I'm nothing, I cannot do anything. Some of them end up begging in the streets and some of them just waste their lives and think that they're useless. What would you say to these guys?
I think what I can tell such people, these are my brothers and sisters. To me, accept them the way they are because of the same shoe, but let them learn to understand themselves. Let them know what they want to achieve in life. Do you want to become a beggar or do you want to become with a profession? Because disability is just a condition. Doesn't mean there is a permanent situation in life. You can use the same disability, which is a condition, to make a better life than just becoming a beggar or just losing hope in life. The worst thing you can ever do in life is losing hope in life. You're as much as a dead person.
What would you say was the turning point of Daniel Odongo's life?
To me, when I stepped in school, I knew my life has changed. Because with school, I was able to see other people, I would live a normal life. And that's how when I began my journey on 16th July in the year 2000, that's I thought, that's I knew that I was focused and I was moving in a very positive direction. And I had to put in more effort. I had to work extra harder because I knew just somebody that I have never seen in Netherlands who used to support me through the sisters. It is Lilian Fons Foundation in Netherlands that I'm also here to visit them very soon. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, Daniel, someone is watching this show today and then they're like, wow, that's a powerful story. I would like to support you in, being able to achieve, to fill in the remaining part of your education. How do they reach you?
One, they can also get back to me on a phone call 0722 164 071. 0722 164 071. On Twitter, I'm there, Blind Pilot too. And because of my condition and the condition of other young children that I'm also feeling for them, we've found a group. Blind Pilot Kenya is registered with a pay bill number, which is 825767. Account number is I. The pay bill is 825767, and account number is I. You can support another child because even me, I will support Beware. That's why I'll also be having a free eye checkup in Kiamaiko here, where I was brought up in March 2nd, 2019.
March 2nd, 2019.
Yes. So that those that are good fun with those conditions, especially children, you're good. Yes, for surgery and other medication.
I think it's very interesting because if your condition was able to be, if your parents knew about the condition, it would be very easy for them if they had taken you to hospital, and then this problem would have been solved a very long time ago and you wouldn't have to spend all those years.
True, and that's why even today, at least this is a successful story. But there also other side story that I also come across, especially in the media, because I get many calls. And especially where I was brought up in Mathare, I know so many young children who are supposed to be in school, but they can't access school because of the disability. Yesterday I was brought up a child who can't see and he can't walk. I took him to take a school for the blind primary section. They said, now this one, Daniel, how do you even teach? This is somebody who cannot walk, This is someone who cannot see. These are multiple disabilities. Then I said, okay, because I have a chance to talk to a few friends and people in the media and all that. Can we spread out our pay bill number and say they can also take this child to medication Kikuyu. We correct the eyesight. Once you correct the eyesight, then you can also buy for him a wheelchair. He's only a boy of 10 years, but he has never stepped in school. The same way I was on 7 years, but I've never stepped in school.
You're going to school. Oh, Daniel, that's very interesting. I believe that, I mean, we'd also be very glad at GBS to chip in any way that we can to help the young boy. Thank you very much, Daniel Odongo, for honoring our invitation and for sharing with us your story. It's very interesting.
Wow, thank you.
Karibu sana. Well, viewer, thank you very much for joining us on the People Show today. I believe, like yourself, that this is a very interesting story that needs to be shared across the divide, and everybody needs to know about such stories and many more inspiring stories that uplift our souls and also teach us one or two things. Like we mentioned earlier, if Daniel's parents would have known just what kind of condition, or if they would just take Daniel to hospital, probably someone would have detected the problem and helped him out. There's so many children out there today who are living in such a condition, and they can be helped. And that's why Daniel is carrying out this initiative. On March 2nd, you said?
Yeah, 2019.
On March 2nd, 2019, they'll be having a free eye clinic at Kiamaiko
in Mathare.
Yeah,
and we need their support so much, especially on the pay bill number. You can support anything little on the M-Pesa pay bill number. That is 825767. Account number is I. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Well, viewer, we have come to the end of our program today. If you have any comments, suggestions, or opinion, you can send that to our email address, info@gbskenya.com. Or also, you can send us an SMS on 21144. 21144 is the number. My name is Timothy Omondi. Until next time, thank you very much, and God bless you.
Hello viewers, welcome to Women's View.